a fantastic side dish, can absolutely save a meal, and sometimes we just forget to pay attention and take our time for all the little things like the side dish. In this video, I'm gonna show you guys a really fun way to prepare some broccoli rabe or rapini. It's easy, it fits on any holiday table. You guys are gonna love it. Let me show you how I like to make it. I'm gonna start base level. I've got a little pot. I'm gonna put that down on the griddle, and I'm gonna take some unsalted butter. This is key. Unsalted butter is the way to go because we wanna control our salt. Now there's a debate, I've seen the comment section about using salted or unsalted. I am of the opinion if I use unsalted butter, I am in full control of how much salt I'm introducing to my dish. And I feel like that's one of those pro moves if you can remember it while you're cooking. You know, every time you watch a video, every time hopefully that you're making one of these recipes, you're learning something new for the arsenal. Unsalted butter is the way to go because you can always add salt, but you can't take it out. So we're gonna let that butter start to melt. Before we go too far, we're gonna do something I like to do, which is drink a nice little glass of wine. We're gonna use this Pinot Grigio later to deglaze our broccolini, or broccoli rabe, I should say. Broccoli rabe and rapini are not the same as broccolini, but they are delicious. That's a fun little tongue twister. Let's take some of our garlic. I've got quite a bit of whole garlic cloves. I'm gonna take my knife and lay it flat and just give it a nice little smash so you see what happened. You can even see on the cutting board a little bit, some of those oils come out. What we're doing is we're taking advantage of all of the flavor in our garlic, but we still get to have nice large chunks. You know, garlic is one of those unsung heroes. Sometimes you just add it and you forget that there's actually some decent sugar, some sweetness to it. You know what, that's enough. We don't need the rest of this. So let's take all of this. We're gonna go into our pot with our butter. Now what's gonna happen is all of this flavor, that rich, sweet, garlicky flavor is gonna basically come out into the butter. We're gonna use the butter for our broccolini, so we're compounding and mounting our flavors. I've also got some fresh thyme. We'll throw that, this is quite a bit of thyme as well. Throw that in there. You know, let's hit just a pinch of salt and pepper. You know, sometimes we talk about seasoning in stages. Stages of seasoning is important because if you just add all of your seasoning at one time, you lose the ability to kind of compound those flavors. Let's talk about more flavors. I've got some lemon. I'm gonna take just the end off, not too much, just the end. I'm gonna toss this right into my butter as well. Now there's a lot of flavor in the oil of the skin, and I wanna bring some of that out in my oil, in my butter, lemon oil and the butter. You know what I meant, you know what I meant. All right, let's talk about broccolini real quick. That's gonna be fantastic later. So I keep saying broccolini, not broccolini. It gets confusing. So when it comes to bitter greens, broccoli rabe and rapini are basically the same thing. You can see it's got a nice fibrous stalk, and then at the end, let me get a better one, it's easier to see. At the end, you can see all those beautiful little, it's like a broccoli floret. It's really, really good, but it is on the bitter side. Think of kale, collard greens, mustard greens. Those things are on the bitter side, and they're fantastic. When I say the word bitter, don't think it's a bad thing. It's actually a really good thing. You're talking all the umami flavors, those rich, peppery, wonderful green flavors. Now I'm gonna wait just a bit for my herbs and garlic to penetrate that butter, then we'll get started with cooking these bad boys. We're starting to see some bubbles. That means it's time to go down on our beautiful broccoli rabe. So I've got a bit of oil. I'm using olive oil. This is on medium heat. Add a good bit of oil. Now we're gonna grab all of this beautiful bitter green. Remember, bitter is not a bad word. We're gonna go right down. Oh, that's what we want to do. I dig that. So, so good. There's moments when you hear it, you're like, oh, we're moving now, we're moving. Got a little bit of salt. Let's go over the top. Some salt. Now this is a bitter green, so it can handle quite a bit of salt, so don't be shy. And a bit of pepper. Now we're only doing salt and pepper because most of our flavor, other than the vegetable itself, most of our flavor is in our butter. You know what? I wasn't gonna wait until later. I'm gonna do it now. I've got some crushed red pepper. I'm gonna add that right into my butter so the heat can start to build and start to flavor the butter with the herbs, the fresh thyme and the garlic. Now if you don't like spicy, that's okay. You can skip this part, but I dig it. Let me grab my tongs. Give that a quick little stir, and we are just about there. Oh, it smells amazing. It smells so good. All right, now it's time to get to the wine, which I mentioned earlier. I'm actually gonna add a bit of this Pinot Grigio now. We'll probably add just a bit later as well. We want to steam, oh yeah. We want to steam our beautiful vegetables. So I'm gonna take my dome, I'm gonna go right over the top and let that start working for just a bit. Now these don't take too long, and just like broccoli or asparagus, if you cook it too long, you get into mushy territory. Most vegetables don't need a ton of time to cook because you want that little bit of crunch. So we're gonna let that go for 3 or 4 minutes. We'll give them a toss. Oh my goodness, that is what I'm talking about. Let's take our tongs and give this just a quick little toss. Oh yeah, you get a little bit of caramelization. They're steaming together. All right, some of that wine is still there because we had our dome over the top. We're gonna leave it off for now so that starts to reduce and kind of cling to our broccoli rabe. I keep wanting to say broccolini, not the same thing. Now we're gonna take our butter. Now it's had a chance a few minutes to kind of let all those flavors steep in. So where we could have just added the individual ingredients, we've mounted all of that flavor into our butter. Now we're gonna pour it over our vegetables. There we go. Beauty. We can save the rest of it over here. Let's give that one more quick little toss. If you want to, since the liquid may have cooled it down just a little bit, you can slide to a new area. Sometimes the energy builds up on one spot of your griddle, so it's hot again, you get that good sear. You can see right there, see the bubbles? That's actually reducing really, really fast. You know, I do want to take advantage of that actually. Let's grab let's cut this lemon up. Oh, CJ, can you smell that? Can you smell what's happening?
I smell that citric delight.
Citric delight, indeed. And now it's about to be more citric-y. I'm with you, buddy. All right, so we're gonna take some of our lemon juice. I'm just doing the hand trick to catch the seeds. Now, I mentioned earlier that this is a bitter green, and that's not a bad word. Bitter greens love citrus. The brightness, the acidity, it really brings out the wonderful flavor, so you're not just getting bitter flavor. It's like a radicchio. CJ, do you like radicchio?
What is radicchio?
There he is.
Hey
there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Radicchio is the purple cabbage, the purple lettuce, the little one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love
radicchio. That's a bitter green, and it's fantastic. It's really, really good. You know what we can do? I'm gonna take a few pieces. CJ, look in here. Can you see the pieces of garlic that have been stewing in the butter? I'm actually gonna pull some of that out and go right down on the griddle top. Now this is like secondary flavor. Earlier we mentioned the sugar that garlic has. So now we're gonna get a chance to access some of that sugar and caramelize it with our vegetables. Let's let that cruise for just a little bit longer, and we are almost ready to eat. The garlic is singing, the lemon, the thyme. This is all kinds of fantastic. Check this out. The caramelization that's happened on these little guys, this really is next level. I mean, you don't have to do this part, but you've got it. Why not do it? Let's give this all a toss together. I have one last ingredient I want to add. Oh, you see some of that caramelization now? Oh yes. Oh, heck yes. You know what? This is a good side dish all year long. Don't just wait till cold weather. I'm gonna take some sliced almonds and pop these right over the top and mix them in. This is a textural contrast. It's gonna give us a different kind of creaminess. Almonds have a really fantastic creaminess to them. Let's give this a toss, and then we'll plate it up. I'm gonna grab my little bowl, put all of that in, load it up. This is gonna look fantastic on any dinner table. Oh, some of my almonds got stuck behind. Grab a spatula, we'll get those little guys. Oh, and we get some of that reduced butter too, some of that lemon juice. All right, right over the top. There we go. Now this, my friends, now it's finished. Wait, no, it's not finished. Because I have a little bit of that butter left over. Why don't we go ahead and take all of that gorgeous flavored butter. I don't know if you can see, but the herbs, they got crispy in here. Check this out. The herbs are actually a little crunch now. You can throw that on as garnish right on the top. Oh yeah, even that little bit of lemon, come on, add that in there. And we can go with that butter right over, my goodness, my friends. So we talk a lot on this show about compounding flavors and elevating, and it's fine. Read the comments section. CJ gets to talk about them, I don't. But this is straight magic, straight magic. Take this to any dinner table and you're gonna look like a pro. Now, kind of like some other bitter greens like mustard greens or collard greens. If you cook them for a really long time, they start to get mushy, but if you do them like this, real flat, oh, look at that. I got one of those beautiful little almonds on there. If you cook them like this, they maintain their crunch, so you might need a knife and fork it. Whoa. Well, see that? The wind just picked up. It was like a gust of glory. I'm just so, oh, it's so good. If you like bitter greens, this one is such a home run. I gotta get in again. You know what I want this time? I want some of that crunchy, beautiful garlic. Check this out. Oh, look how crunchy those herbs are. That little crunchy caramelized garlic, whoa, whoa. All day long. Can't go wrong. That is fantastic. That is so, so good. Don't save this just for winter or for cold weather. This is a fantastic side dish any time of year. Thank you all so much for hanging out. Pay attention to your flavors. Take your time as you're cooking. You know, build your flavors as you go and try new stuff. Just because you find something that you really like, that's great, that's fun. Try new stuff. Rapini or broccoli rabe is your friend. This is Cook, Eat, Repeat, where we help you become a better cook one recipe at a time. I'm your host, Chef Nathan Lippy, and I'll see you guys in the next video.